going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is for entertainment purposes only. So as of Sunday's video, we hit take profit. That's a beautiful thing. Whenever you see that on your phone, you hit take profit because you know it's a good one. It's always a good one when you hit your take profit. So we made 1,400 bucks on that. On this move from here to here. 1,400 bucks. And then it entered me in short, and then I was down like 100 bucks, and I just jumped out because I wanted to just reassess. And then I took a trade on GBP JPY on Monday. I saw some momentum to the downside, and my bias is already short because of the pin bar reversal candle on the weekly. Then we had a weekly bearish candle, and then all of a sudden we started getting bearish momentum. You know, so I jumped in somewhere right here, and it was like instantly the second I jumped in, I was in profit. And then yeah, it came flying back up, and I ended up taking a loss on that because I didn't follow the plan. I didn't follow, you know what I mean? I kind of, and I guess whenever you jump into momentum like that, if you're up, I should have just taken it because I was up 350 bucks and I didn't take it, and it ended up screaming back and it knocked me out. So, and even when you, like, it's like you think it's gone. It's like, okay, it's gone. Because to me, this looks so good to me. There's so many things telling me that this is going down. Monthly chart, you can see this pattern that we're in here. See, touch. Well, it didn't touch there, but overall, touch there. And it just looks like this is going to start heading down. 6-month chart, the same thing. And then if we jump over to, let's say, the weekly chart is where we get the most information here. Yeah, you can see this area of resistance. It's a tough one. See? Attempt, and then a huge sell-off with enough momentum to come blasting through it, hit this long-term trend line. And this was short-lived. You know, yeah, I know it was above this area for a few weeks, but if you kind of zoom out and look at it, it wasn't up there long. And then it broke to the downside, and now it looks like it's just correcting like a bear flag. And we came right up into this same zone again and got a 382 pin bar reversal candle out of it. Like major selling. And then we got a bearish candle the week after. And then all of a sudden it looked like it was going. So, yeah, I'm still looking for a sell. So let's zoom back in. All right, so here's the 4-hour chart. And first off, GBP USD, I jumped out because, you know, I'm going to just delete this because that's not even, yeah. It's not clear to me. Like, let's see. The zone that I had in mind was here. Right? You can see that. It's clear, right? We had boom, resistance, and then we tested this level and it sold off, but then it broke. And now it's testing the top side. So, yeah, I don't know. Like, could it be here? But this is like an extremely big wick, so it's like kind of hard to do a zone here. I don't know. To me, this just doesn't look right, so I jumped out. But GBP JPY is another story. So you can see this zone right here. It's a nice, tight, small zone, and I like those smaller zones. And I like what I've found personally that works the best for me is zones that have been respected recently. Because I used to, when I learned support and resistance, I was like, oh, I just go back and find the biggest areas on the monthly chart and the weekly chart and just go all the way back. Yeah, and sometimes that works, but not all the time, because sometimes price will stop respecting that zone. So I like to see recent respect of that zone. And we have it right here. You know, then we had this false break. And you can see it respected it here. We had a respect here. And you can go back. Yeah, and look at this. Like, boom. Big respect. Big respect. Like, definitely a good level. And I do think, you know, this weekly candle hasn't closed yet. So, I mean, it sold off hard at the beginning of the week. And now we're getting, it would seem like a retracement. Because if we go to just the yen, you can see, I mean, it gapped. It gapped up. And I would expect some retracement. But I think the yen, overall, is probably coming up to retest this broken support trend line, now resistance trend line, at the very least. And this is the monthly chart, so we got quite a ways to go to get up there. Yeah, weekly chart, we could have several, I mean, we could have a month straight or a month and a half straight of just, you know, yen to the upside. So I'm looking for GBP JPY to go down. USD Cad was another good one that I wanted to get into because it looks bullish. The Canadian dollar looks all kinds of bearish. And it looks like it's just about to start. We had this big drop. Oh, hold on. It's probably the... Yep, it's a real estate agent. Be right back. Sorry about that. Yeah, literally, I bought a house. I gave him the money. And signed all the paperwork. And then just the two attorneys were working on the actual legal paperwork. And I was supposed to sign it today. And the guy backed out at the last second. He had... This house was on the market for months. And there was another buyer who was going to buy it. And his financing fell through. So it went back on the market again. And then I gave him an offer. And he accepted it. And everything started to go through. And then he waited until the last second after I told my landlord I'm going to be out. I told everybody I'm moving. And then it fell through at the last second. So now I'm scrambling to try to find another place. And all the places that I found so far need septic tanks. So it's like another 30 grand on top of, you know, everything else. So I need some money. So we got to get after this Forex thing. I really, really need some money. So yeah, anyways, the only other trade I'm looking at right now is USD Cad. So look at the zone right here. You know, I was waiting for a retracement because if we look at the Canadian dollar, look at this on the 6-month chart. We had this drop, bear flag, and we're right here. So we have impulse A, B, C, and I think we're about to start another leg down. Because, yeah, I doubt this is going to come back up before grabbing this liquidity that's under these lows. This double bottom is going to be taken out. So on USD CAD's case, I would say that this giant double top up here on the monthly chart is going to be taken out at the very least. And if it keeps going from there, I don't know. But I would say what I'm going for right now is to those highs. That's where I'm trading to. And I was already in this from here, but then got out here because of this stupid lower high thing that threw me off. So from now on, especially when I'm at monster trend lines and I'm in profit, stop goes to break even and I just let it go. If it comes back down and stops me out, then whatever. Because I gave up so much money there. You know, you start questioning and doubting yourself. But yeah, regardless, look at this level. It makes perfect sense in my head. We have recent respect of this level. So here's the 4-hour chart. You can see when price broke above it. You can see price and wicks coming out of this zone. Like, it bounced a few times here before it broke below. Then we retested this level. False break there, then came down. We came back up, tested this level again, big push away. And then you can see it was fighting to get through this level, and then another big push away. Then if we kind of zoom in on what's been happening lately, here's the same level, right? We're getting wicks out of it, right? It was fighting again here to break, and then all of a sudden we busted through, and it wasn't just a little blip, like a little tiny, you know, and then it started coming back down. I mean, we busted through that level and made a much higher high, which is a good sign to me. So we made a much higher high, came up into another big area of resistance. There were sellers there. They started to sell. We're retracing. Overall, as of right now, overall, we're in a uptrend, at least on the weekly chart. Yeah, weekly wise, we're in an uptrend. So the trend's your friend till the end, right? So, oops. So price came back down into that level. Again, my timing is not the best. We were already, the train started to leave the station, and yeah, I went to a lower time frame and waited for a retracement back down, and whenever I thought was a good time, I threw down. So I'm hoping that this is it, but there's a potential that this could go a little bit lower, because tomorrow's Wednesday. If we extend this line out, right, this is the last resistance trend line, but still this doesn't make sense to me, because if we drag this support and resistance area down to suit this idea, it doesn't work. So I'm thinking at worst case that this thing comes down and retests this you know, resistance trend line, now support trend line. As long as we don't take out this little low right here, right? And this was to happen, this was to come down and hit this level and then go higher. That would be probably somewhere between the 1.36000 and 1.36200, somewhere in this area. But if we get below this little low here, then I'm going to take the loss and get out. I'm not going to put a stop loss, but if it does come down and take that low out, it's going to be a $560 loss. But I think the odds are in our favor for this to continue higher. And if it doesn't hold here, that's the thing. I need a plan B. So if it does not hold here, and this comes back down, then maybe we're coming back down to retest this monthly and weekly resistance trend line, which it seems like we haven't retested it yet. So that could be a possibility that this is going to come and it's going to retrace all the way back down into possibly this zone down here and then go higher. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens, but I'm hoping for a bounce here. And if we get much below this zone, like I'm saying, I'm going to take the loss and get out and wait for it to come down here and then go for it there. But regardless, we're in a, I think this looks like an excellent area of, you know, support. And I think potentially we could get a bounce there. And it just so happens that GBP JPY is also in the same area. You know, it seems like pairs across the board are Oh, USD Mexican peso's taking off, but I don't want to trade that. Yeah, so we will see what happens. I'm gonna just leave because I don't have any more money to trade. I pretty much have everything that I have out. I've got 100,000 units on USD Cad and 15,000 units on GBP JPY, and I probably have $700 left in my account for buffer room in case I take a loss. I don't get margin called. So I'm just gonna let these play out and see what happens. But yeah, anyways, that's it for this one. Make sure you subscribe, give me a thumbs up. See you later.